Hello everyone. It's James again. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today I want to answer a question asked by Katrina. And this might also help out a lot of people that are new to the narcissistic abuse community. And reinforce things you may have been thinking about if you've been around the narcissistic abuse community for some time. Here's the question. Can you do a video on tips to plan your way out from these crazy demons? And again, Katrina, thank you so much for viewing. And thank you so much for the question. Now first off, when trying to get away from a narcissist or a demon like this, you have to admit to yourself without question what and who you are dealing with. And it sounds like you've done that, Katrina. Which is a good thing. The reason why it's important you fully admit to yourself what and who you are dealing with is, if you don't, and you waver back and forth into seeing them as a loving troubled person one day, and then a narcissist demon the next, and back and forth, it's easy for the narcissist in your life to keep you hooked. Because all they will need to do is call you or show up on your doorstep, pretending to have good intentions, or admitting they messed up. Yes, narcissists will do this if they think there is something to gain by lying to you. Because, mostly as a rule of thumb, narcissists won't admit guilt. Which is true. But if they think they will gain something by vaguely showing up on your door, asking for a second chance, and them telling you how they were so wrong, without being able to provide great details about what they did and how they are going to change, and even if they can do such a thing, I would just chalk it up to this narcissist is on another level of awareness and is just trying to snag you back into the toxic game of theirs. So you can't take them back no matter what they say or what they do. At least in your mind. Now what do I mean by that? You see, everyone's situation is different. You may be dating a narcissist that lives 10 miles away that you can stop seeing, and can get a restraining order if they are bothering you. But there are some that are legally married and own a home with such a so-called person. So just up and leaving is harder than it would be if you were just dating someone. Which also brings me to another sub-point. As many have mentioned, and many have been mentioning, these third-party agreements called marriage licenses are unbiblical and are just used as a tool for the state to control you and your children's life. That's it. And you aren't helping yourself by signing such a paper. But if you did, don't beat yourself up. It has happened to a lot of people, both men and women. The key in all of this is to keep the first step always in your mind. And that's no matter how good things appear to be today. They will always, and I do mean always, revert back to them abusing you in some form or manner. Even if you go 3 or 4 months of nothing but bliss. Don't be fooled. The end of that good time is coming and they are going to take you back into deep water once again. And they do this to not only screw with your mind, but they do it because it's a way to keep you from plotting to leave. So if you are in a honeymoon phase, keep planning. Talk to those that can help you out legally. Find legal loopholes that are in your favor. Figure out ways to get your name off of certain things that you are sharing with such a so-called person. And don't be ashamed, you might have to play the same game back to do so. What I mean is, maybe making up a reason why it's in their benefit that you do something such as sell the house. Or allowing them to have something solely in their name and your name being removed. And this might take some time. But taking your time to do these things may be what is needed for you to be able to run and get free. Now if you believe your life is in danger, get out today. But if you think you can play the game long enough to get yourself in a better position, so when the time comes you can run and not have to really deal with this so-called person ever again. Simply because you were able to take your time beforehand and get out of a lot of agreements and legal binding contracts with this person. Then do so. And again, this goes back to step 1. You can only do this if you can always know in your mind what this so-called person is. No matter if you have a great time one day. Please do not let this slow down your progress into getting out. If anything, use these good times in your favor to trick the narcissist so you can slowly free yourself from such legal bindings. Now if you work with a narcissist, or the narcissist is your boss, and this is something I want to go into more detail in the future. But again, you can't change this so-called person. And usually things never ever get better. Because even if it's just a narcissist person there and not a boss, your boss or bosses, I'm pretty sure, know about it. And you have to ask yourself, why aren't they trying to stop such behavior? So in that, keep in your mind what these so-called people are. Even if they let up on you for a bit of time and seem to be treating you nice, trust me, something is up and they are going to come after you again. And more than likely they are talking behind your back, turning people against you while they are pretending to be nice. So I would do the same thing here. As I would do in a relationship. I would take whatever good time was given to still research how I can leave. And part of that. And again, this is something I want to talk about in the future. Because dealing with narcissism in the workplace is a big problem. And it's so big of a problem because most people have to go to work. Which is why I'm going to say, now and in the future, part of this planning might have to do with downsizing. Now I'm not trying to tell you to sell your house or anything of that nature. But there are a great amount of people that are doing just that. And buying a smaller house with the equity. So they can own their home outright and not have a monthly mortgage. Or they will take their equity and put it in some account to save. And then go rent a small room. Until the market is in their favor to buy again. So they can own their own home free and clear. Now if you don't own your own home, or you don't have a mortgage, I should say rather, do your best to get out of all kinds of debt as soon as humanly possible. Car loans, credit cards, you name it. And then see what you can do to mitigate your rent. Or cut that expense down greatly. And again, this will depend greatly if you have children or if you don't. But if you are a bit more free, you can house sit for long periods of time. And get paid as well to do so. Rent a room in someone's house. If you can get your bills down to where they are a bit smaller and more easy to manage, the narcissist at your work will lose power over you. Either they will sense it automatically. And I don't know how they do this. But I think they will sense you don't need to be at your job anymore. And they will find someone else to target. And they will leave you alone. But again, even if they do that, never completely believe you've been truly left alone. Because the narcissistic abuse can rear its head and start back up at any time. Always remember that. But if you've made such life choices and possible changes, you can now get up and leave, and if needed take a lower paying, more easy job with less stress. And not have to worry about losing the shirt off of your back. But this takes planning. And doing as well. Now with that being said, don't do any of these things unless it's right for you. Everyone's situation is different. And calls for different things. However, these are things to think about. You see, once you know what these so-called people are, you will work really hard to get away from them. Regardless if you are married to one, or working for one, or one is a family member. And you will notice the planning will be in every part of your day. Regardless how nice they may act, you will always be actively planning and plotting your escape. I have for many years likened this to being a prisoner of war. While you are digging a hole in your cell so you can one day be free, you aren't going to tell the guards that's what you are doing. Actually, you are going to actively do things to cover up this fact. And you are going to play the game you have to play. To throw the guards off a bit from thinking that you are trying to escape. But the moment all your hard work has paid off, and the opening is there, you're going to run and not look back. The other thing in all of this, don't feel like you are harming the narcissist by protecting yourself. There are many good people that choose not to do certain things, such as getting a restraining order, when one might be really needed. Because they think by doing so might hurt the narcissist's life. Please don't think that way. Please don't. And trust me, the narcissist is banking on the fact that there are certain things that you won't do because you care about them so much. Now, don't do things just for the heck of it either. Because vengeance is for the Lord, not for us. However, if there is something you need to do to get free, but might in some way inconvenience the narcissist, don't let that stop you from what you need to do to escape, if that makes sense. You see, the narcissist has brainwashed and convinced you to live and think a certain kind of way. And the only way out is to stop thinking like that. It's the only way. Deprogram yourself. Always see them for what they are. Don't be afraid to protect yourself. And look into possible life changes that will make it easier for you to slip away and escape. And not be harmed in the process when you do. Again, thank you for the question, Katrina. Also, thank you for viewing. I thank all of you for viewing as well and your subscription. You know, this world is going through a lot right now. And I think sharing this information is really needed. And I thank all of the content producers for doing so. And all of the people that share and watch our videos for doing so. We are all playing a part in many people learning what this stuff is and waking up. So, that's a good thing. With that said, let's continue to pray for wisdom. Let's continue to pray for strength. And let's continue to pray for courage. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.